And it's time for another matchup in the first round of the AF Lager Championship. But let's not look at the table just yet, because let's have a little talk about beers, first of all. About alcohol-free beers and what ones I've been trying to find, because today has been quite exciting and also very disappointing for me as well. Why has it been disappointing? Well, I'm glad you asked. Disappointing because I still can't find Freedom anywhere. It seems like loads of beers, loads of alcohol-free beers that were available everywhere seems to be disappearing. And Freedom can't be found anywhere. So it looks like it might have to be scrapped. And I remember that being not too bad a lager, which is a shame. But also, I was in Home Bargains, just having a look. I was got to get some Bavaria stuff for a matchup coming up, which I thought was going to be the next matchup. So I went there to get some of that, and there's no Klausthaler. So I don't know whether Klausthaler's gone from Home Bargains and whether that needs to be scrapped, which is a shame because it's just got through. Because the bottle of Klausthaler that I reviewed was just one bottle I had in the fridge. I've not got any more bottles of Klausthaler, so I need to find it in Home Bargains, otherwise I will have to scrap it. So we'll have to see what happens there. But that's the disappointing part. What's the exciting bit? I'm glad you asked that as well. Well, I went to Waitrose, and in Waitrose, first of all, I found this. It is the Klausthaler Unfiltered. It is a lager, and it is available in Waitrose, so it is allowed to be in the championship. So is it going to be a really good one? We don't know. So that is going to go in the bottom half of the table. I'm going to stick it somewhere. I think I might put it up against the Asahi. Either that or I'll replace it. I'll replace the Carlsberg with it because I can't find the Carlsberg anywhere either, which is a bit strange. So I found a Klausthaler. Not quite so exciting, but I found... not quite so exciting. I found this, which is going to be reviewed today. It's the Days Lager. So I know the Pale Ale, I was really rude about the Pale Ale, but we'll have a look at the table in a minute. What I've done is I've found the Days Lager a place in the championship. But also, what I didn't realise was Waitrose, they've actually got Mashgang alcohol-free pails. So I've got it was a 4-pack of Chug IPA. So that I may review for the channel. I've got 4 of those. So it's not going to be in the lager championship because, well, it's not a lager. But yeah, so Mashgang, I know Mashgang do really good alcohol-free beers. So they got cans of Chug in Waitrose, but they've also got cans of this as well. What does it say? Journey Juice. And that's a fruited IPA. So that sounds quite interesting. So we got a normal IPA and a fruited IPA. I will be reviewing both of those for the channel at one point. So that really put a smile on my face. It's nice to see an alcohol-free pale, which I haven't seen before. So, I know Mashgang do some decent ones. So let's have a see if they're any good. Anyway, let's stop waffling about the haul. Let's have a little look at the table. So here we've got the first half of the table again. All very similar. Nothing much has changed apart from, if you look at the bottom now, the Corona is going to be up against the Days Lager. So I'm sticking the Days Lager in that bottom buy slot. So I'm not going to put it against the Warsteiner because I know the Warsteiner is going to be quite a strong one. So let's give the Warsteiner its buy. And the Corona quite possibly probably deserves to fight more than the Warsteiner does. So the Corona is going to be up today. So today, what is it? It's Corona. Corona Cero against Days Lager. Now I know Corona Cero. I did like Corona Cero when I got a keg of it. It was actually a keg that was sold off because it was short dated, and I was really impressed with the keg of it. I think I've had it in bottle form as well, and I thought it was quite nice. So that'll be interesting. Corona Cero against Days Lager. Let's not waffle anymore. Let's get these poured out into glasses. Let's get the taste test underway. Okay, beer's poured. And just a little correction now. I was just putting the Klausthaler back in the fridge and I realised that it's not Klausthaler unfiltered. It's Klausthaler dry hopped. I don't know why I thought... I mean, you look through the bottle, it's clearly unfiltered. It's hazy. I'm sure it said unfiltered somewhere, but I looked on the bottle, it didn't actually say unfiltered anyway. So it's Klausthaler dry hopped with Cascade hops, apparently, rather than Klausthaler original. So there you go. Anyway, that's definitely going to make an entrance in the bottom half of the table. Anyway... Before I waffle anymore, let's tell you which is which out of these. So this is which one is which. Okay, that was which one was which. Again, heads dissipating rather quickly. Let's have a look at these two. So, So very pale straw colour on the left. In fact, that light is positively yellow right through them, so that's possibly the lightest one that I've had so far. This one is much more amber. I'm getting an orange light as I shine through there. So this one is much more amber than this one. Does that give us an indication as to which is which? I don't know. Right, let's get nose in it. Interesting. Not bad. Not bad at all on the nose, that. In fact, that smells very good. That has got very fresh, floral character to it. With a bit of soft kind of wafer-like malty smell. It smells like a lager. It smells like a lager I've had in like one of the normal challenges. It actually smells like a proper lager. That smells like a lager. It's got that kind of the Ayinger smell. I mean, not as good as Ayinger, but that kind of just lovely, fresh, grassy, lovely kind of fresh, grassy, kind of floral, kind of outdoorsy kind of smell that I get with like the Ayinger and some of the other lagers. That's really got it. That is impressive. That is really impressing me on the smell. That smells like a lager that's got alcohol in it. Now, it's funny because one of these is the Days. And the thing is, I was very rude about the Days Pale, if you remember. The Days Pale is possibly my most viewed alcohol-free beer review. And that one I was very, very rude about the Days Pale. Now, I don't know whether this is the Days or this Corona. But if this is the Days and it tastes as good as it smells, then I'll have to eat my words. Well, I'll have to say, well, your IPA is rubbish, but you brew a really good lager. But I haven't smelled the other one yet. But yeah, that does smell very interesting. It does not smell alcohol-free to me. Right, let's smell this one now. Ooh, odd. Very odd. That's punchier. That's got a really... Again, this one does not smell alcohol-free either. Neither of these have a really alcohol-free... they don't have like an alcohol-free like profile. Some alcohol-free beers, you just smell them, they've got something, they've got horrible sweetness, they've got just something in them, some metallicness or whatever, that just makes them smell like an alcohol-free lager. Neither of these have it. This one smells weird. It smells... Oh, what is that? It smells citrusy. It smells kind of orange, lemon. There's something odd in that smell, and I'm trying to think what it is. This one smells kind of crafty. It's got a bit of something that, I don't want to say burns the inside of the nose, but something that's very zingy inside the nose. Almost grapefruity, almost like a grapefruit sourness on the nose there. I'm smelling these for a long time, and that's because I'm getting so much from the noses. These have both got cracking noses. It's got a bit of a red stripeness to the smell. Yeah, whatever that was in Red Stripe. This has got it as well. Very interesting. I really don't know which is which out of these. But if either of these taste half as good as they smell, then this could be a good taste test. Let's start diving in. Okay, I'm going to go for this one first. Cheers. So it's smooth. It's got a nice little aftertaste. It's not really an aftertaste that I would associate with a lager. It's kind of sweet, almost like a toffee, really. kind of like, yeah, toffee taste in the finish there. Not a huge amount of bitterness. Let's go for the flavour a bit. In the flavour, there's some things in there that I associate a bit more with a darker beer. There's a little bit of a nuttiness in there. I wouldn't say it tastes like a lager, but possibly it does. A little bit light, possibly, in flavour. Again, nothing other than the very light flavour that would make me think this was alcohol-free. I might think it's an incredibly weak lager, but I wouldn't think it's alcohol-free. But it is very light in taste, and I'm not nearly drunk it all. But it's not bad. Not bad at all, that. So this one really needs to wow me a bit. I need something that's going to set my taste buds alight for this one. Something, I want some flavour. I want something to really hit me. And considering the nose on this, I've got a feeling this is either going to hit me with something very interesting or very foul. Let's see which one it is. Cheers. So when I first had that, my immediate reaction was, oh, it's foul. But it wasn't. It was just a lot more bitter than this one. Yeah, we got that grapefruit on the taste. There's a lot of bitterness, well, bitterness up front, bordering on kind of like sour. Not a lot in the middle, I won't lie. It's crisp, it's dry, but very light in flavour. Now the problem is here, I'm running out of beer. Some nice fruity notes though. I'm not sure if that bitterness is a little bit abrasive. It's going to be a hard one, this. These are not bad at all. These are better, I think, than a lot of the others that we've had. Although they are a bit lacking in body. That's got something in the middle of the body there. That's a bit... Possibly a little bit... That thing in the middle, I'm not sure if it's a little bit off. It's that thing when you try and get a multi-alcohol free beer and you don't make it dead sweet. It's kind of like almost like a cardboardiness that I'm getting from it. Almost like I was getting with the Lucky Saint. Let's try this one again. You know, this one, cold in the garden in the summer, would be really nice. There's a bit of citrus in the flavour. It is kind of like more grapefruity, I think, than oranges and lemons. It's very light, but the flavours there are very, very nice, I think. Very pleasant indeed. This one, that little cardboardiness in the middle is just possibly making this one lose out. Which is a shame, because I do like this one. That one's perfectly passable with a bit of a cardboardiness in the middle. Very Lucky Saint, that one. This one's lighter and drier and more bitter. Oh, it's hard. It's very hard, this one. Very hard. I've run out of beer. I've got to make a decision. I do keep going on about lagers being too sweet, about these lagers being too sweet, and this one is very, very not sweet. It's dry and it's bitter. And if I had a little bit more flavour, it would be slam dunk for this one. This one, I'd say with this one, it wouldn't have. It'd probably have about as much flavour as that one if it went for the cardboardiness. So for that reason, I'm gonna put this one through. I'm gonna guess that this is the Corona, just because I said that kind of cardboardiness was something I got with the Lucky Saint and the Days. I would have thought possibly may have that as well, but also because this was a bit more amber and that was very, very light in colour. I always think of Corona beers being light in colour. I do know that I did like the Corona Cero, so I'm not surprised that one of these is the Corona. And to be honest, the Days, I've got 6 cans of Corona and I bought 4 cans of Days. So whichever one of these loses, I'll be happily drinking the other ones. No problem, I'll be enjoying them. So yeah, there you go. So this one's going through. I'm thinking it's the Corona. We'll find out in a minute and I will be right back. Well, first miss of the series. This one was the Days. Hang on. Let's do that again. Well, first miss of the series, because this one was the Days. And this one was the Corona, which is interesting. And I've just tried it now from the can. And yeah, it does have that kind of little bit cardboardiness in the middle. But yeah, let's get it in. Let's get it in the glass. So yeah, so the Corona was the darker one. Interesting. With that kind of slightly cardboardy note in the middle. But it's smooth and it's crisp and it's refreshing. I like that. You know, there's nothing unpleasant about the taste. And neither of these beers are too sweet, which is good as well. Because like Corona itself, I'm not a big fan of. I think it's really, really bland. Very, very weak indeed. I'd say this has got more flavour than actual Corona, which is interesting. Let's try the Days again. Yeah, the Days is very dry. Quite bitter, bordering on sour. Strange nose to it. Not a huge amount of flavour. But the bitterness and the dryness and the little bit of flavour it's got is making it a reasonable substitute for a lager. I mean, so far nothing that I've had alcohol-free lager-wise is a substitute for a decent lager with alcohol in it. But gotta say, I didn't like your pale Days, but I do like your lager. The lager's not bad. It's dry, it's bitter, it's got a bit of a lager-like character. It's not too bad. You know, it's not amazing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's great. Because again, both of these are a bit light in flavour, and I've said before, if you brew it out, it seems if you brew an alcohol-free lager with flavour, it has that really weird kind of taste that makes you know it's alcohol-free. The only way of stopping you knowing it's alcohol-free is by brewing it with very little flavour, which both of these have done. But this has done it with a bit more dryness and a bit more bitterness, so it wins. So there we go. So let's get rid of this. Let's bring the Days over here. Glass can go there. Put it to the side. So there we are. So Days Lager is through to the next round. Is this a 0.0 or a 0.5? It's 0.0. It's not taught sugar content, have I, these? Okay, oh, look at this. Less than 0.5 grams of sugar as well. That's what I'm talking about. That's the thing, is you don't make these beers too sweet, because then they got bags of sugar in them and they're not as nice. Let's have a look at this one as well. I'll see if I can read that. My God, that text is bad. I should have looked beforehand. Oh no, it's there. Yeah. Looking in the wrong place. Let's have a look at the sugar on this one. Wow, that's really hard writing to see. Here we go. We've got it per can here. That's, yeah, carbohydrates. Wow, so yeah, this is, well, okay. Ha. So this is 2 point, I don't know if it's a 1 or a 7 even, still though, wow. 2 point something grams of sugar in the Corona and less than 0.5 grams of sugar in the Days. So there you go. So the Days wins on that score as well. So not only is it better, it's also better for you. Which probably explains why it's nice and dry and bitter and not too sweet. So there we go. So, no more to it. I've taken the can away. Here it is. Days Lager through to the next round. Till next one. Until next time, have a good one.